As I take y'all through some homemaking tasks throughout the week, I want to offer you some encouragement for seasons of loneliness in motherhood. My name is Amy, a city girl who married a southern country boy and is now a mama and wife to our 4 children who we raised here on our little homestead here in Mississippi. I want to thank you for being here. I share new videos each week on all things home, but I want y'all to know I did not grow up in this world of gardening, preserving, raising animals, cooking meals from scratch, but I have learned a lot along the way and want to bring y'all along on the continued learning process in the beautiful blessing of a slow and simple life. So in seasons of loneliness and motherhood, it can feel very isolating, very desolate. You could feel very confined, where you only have your children to talk to throughout the day, maybe a conversation with a parent, a conversation with your husband at night, but you haven't found your mama friends yet that you're going to walk through those childhood years together. So I've been through a season of waiting, a season of loneliness. So I want to share a little bit of my personal story here, as well as offer you some encouragement in going through that season. So a little backstory on myself that many of you may not know. When I got married, I moved about 2 hours almost from my hometown. My childhood friends that I'd had for quite a while, we kind of drifted apart. There wasn't any sort of big fallout. When I moved away, we didn't meet up as often, and we no longer had a lot in common. My husband and I changed a lot about our lifestyle. We cut out a lot of things, and I guess some friendships just didn't sync anymore. So right after becoming a mother, I pretty much did not have any close friends. I mean, I had my mom, my sister, and I had some acquaintances at work. I was still working as a teacher in those first few years of motherhood. So I feel like I had some connection because I was still at a workplace every day, but I didn't have any close friends that I was walking through life together, walking through motherhood together. I also started this YouTube channel around that time, and having the community and having conversations with other mamas on YouTube in a way really helped me get through those tough years of really being lonely and not having any real life close friends to walk through motherhood with. So I want to thank you ladies who have commented on my channel and reached out to me and encouraged me in over these years I've been in this space, because it has really felt like a deep connection that I was missing for many, many years. And I still love talking to all of y'all in comments, and when you email me, it's such a blessing, and I'm always thankful for this community here on YouTube. We still long for those real life friendships to grow together, for us to grow as mothers together, for our children to grow up with together. And I constantly was praying for that. I was praying for community, praying for fellowship. 1 John 1 verse 7 says, "But if we walk in the light, we have fellowship with one another, and the blood of Jesus Christ cleanses us from all sin." So 1 John talks a lot about fellowship and having fellowship, friendships, community with like-minded Christians. And this is something that I had truly longed for, but I had not yet found. I really didn't know where to look. And that's what I wanted to talk about here, is how God provides those in the most unexpected places. So going through this season of loneliness, I really grew in my walk with the Lord. I really just leaned into Him, really focused on a really strong prayer walk, a really strong Bible reading time, and then just leaned into His peace in this season of waiting, and really leaned into what He had provided for me at that time, which was young children to nurture and raise and really work on being a godly wife, a godly mother, leaning into that during that season of waiting where I was at home all the time. My young children did need me all the time. Even if I had lots of friendships at that time, there wasn't a whole lot of time to be out and about building those friendships because I was at home with young children. So for the first, I'd say 2 years of motherhood, I really didn't have any friends. And that sounds sad, but it was true. I mean, I had acquaintances, I had people that I was friends with that if I saw them out and about, we would talk and chat, but it wasn't any kind of strong bond between those ladies. One of my really close friends now, we talk about that. She experienced the same thing when she moved away from her hometown. She just felt isolated. She didn't have any friends. It just sounds sad to say it, but when you don't have a community of like-minded ladies to grow with and raise your children with, it's very isolating. Within about 2 years, God slowly started to trickle ladies into my life, and meeting one lady led me to meet another lady, and then it led me to a Bible study full of wonderful godly ladies that I've become friends with. And I think that's how God works. He brings the women, the friendships into our life when we have the capacity for those. He brings the friends in the timing and the capacity we have for that. In my Bible study, we've been studying 1st, 2nd, and 3rd John, and there's a passage in there that really made a lot of sense as I read it, but it's 1 John 5:14. This is the confidence we have in approaching God, that if we ask for anything according to his will, he will hear us. And that's just something I was constantly praying about and asking for, is godly women to be friends with, to walk in my motherhood journey with, to raise my children with, to have children that my children could be friends with. And it's not like he didn't answer that prayer immediately. He answered that prayer in little increments as he added ladies to my life to be friends with and to grow in that friendship together. So it's beautiful how he trickled those friendships into my life after that season of waiting in loneliness. I feel like it's truly taken my whole life to have such meaningful, supportive friendships, to walk through the trenches of mothering together. The ladies I've met and molded friendships with over the past about 2 years now, we have laughed together, cried together, prayed together numerous times in just this short time I've known these ladies. A lot of this was due to being very clear and sure on what kind of women I wanted to be surrounded with and what those friendships meant to me. As we've always been told, you need to be the kind of friend that you want to have. So I'm joyfully now entering a chapter of motherhood in which I longed for many years, with a physical circle of women by my side. So I know many of you are probably looking for this exact thing in your area. And honestly, I know it is so hard to find. You don't just find them at the grocery store or the park like you might think you would. And I tried that. I tried to be always on the lookout for people I could be friends with. We would meet somebody and my husband would be like, maybe you can be friends with them. And it's not how it played out. It wasn't the time for God to bring those ladies into my life. And you can't force it. You just have to continually pray about it. Lean into his peace for his timing and bringing those ladies into your life, and he will meet that need in the perfect time. So I actually have met all of my close friends now through like a friend of a friend or referral. It started with my chiropractor that I met in my 3rd pregnancy. She and I became best friends, and through her, God has trickled more ladies into my life through that connection some way or than other. It hasn't just been out me looking for them. It's him truly planting these ladies into my life at a specific time that he saw fit. So I just want to encourage you to keep praying. If you're in that season of loneliness, lean into your children, the blessing he has given you now of mothering your children, and just keep praying, leaning in his peace for the right time that he will bring those close friends into your life. Lean into your relationship with your husband. Our husbands should ultimately be our best friends, and that's really what I leaned into in that season of loneliness, is my husband as my best friend. Feeling held and loved by other women who truly want the best for you is so special, and something every mama needs and deserves. So keep leaning into God's timing and his will for bringing those friendships into your life. Cling to the Lord, cling to the family that he's given you, your children, your husband in that time of waiting, and those friendships will eventually come. Thank y'all for watching today, and I will talk to y'all in my next video.